Hello everybody, Strangers103 here. Welcome back to yet another replay analysis. Today we're looking at Vilkatis_LV playing a Chung with a smoke screen. He wants me primarily to focus on whether he overextends or not, his positioning, how far he gets, and also to see whether he wants to run smoke or radar. This is a replay from 1 or 2 patches ago, so it's been a while, but hopefully I can still provide some feedback on what I personally think is good use of consumables for the ship. Of course, if you're playing in a division, then if you have a radar cruiser, smoke definitely is better. In general, I personally am of the belief that smoke screen is better. So, yeah. Other than that, radar, 7.5 kilometer range, it's not long range, it's not long duration, and you don't have a smoke screen to use it, so unless you want to, for example, if Shimmy spots you and you want to guarantee you spot him in return, because you do get outspotted by just a little bit by some of these ships, and you don't catch them within 5 seconds, chances are they manage to perfectly parallel you and break away. Or if they're being really cheeky, trying to perma-spot you. But other than that, it's not... I don't personally believe that radar is that good on these destroyers. It may give you some spotting utility, but not that great otherwise. Anyways, looking at the game, we got a Havarosk and a Z46. Need to be careful so we don't get rushed by a Havarosk. It can be quite dangerous if he uses these islands to conceal himself and then suddenly shows up. However, that definitely ain't the case, and Z46 gets spotted. Incoming Cyclone. Well, we do have smoke screens, so we might as well just smoke and then continue standard capping. I normally recommend just properly standard capping to begin with, and those torps are almost certainly spotted. I would certainly recommend using a smoke screen because, we got 5 of them, and it might have helped us, reconceal just a little bit earlier. But anyways, our Des Moines is almost certainly radaring this Z, so he's going to go forwards when he realizes that, hold on a moment, I'm still spotted. And there you go, this is why I would have used a smoke screen of our own, because it would have basically stopped this from happening, so we'd lead a little bit less healthier overall. And there we go, we're on fire, so we could have likely saved ourselves 1,000 odd health if we had just simply smoked. Actually, no, 1,500 health if we'd smoked up. And there you go, pushing forwards for more torpedo evasion. Good job overall there. So we're off to a pretty good start. We've shredded the vast majority of the Z46. Guy's still on fire, taking additional shelling. Unfortunately, nobody actually gets defeated. Never mind, I take that statement back. Looks like we're trying to put a smoke screen for our Des Moines, but if he fired through the smoke screen, he's going to be spotted surface by the Zhao, because the Zhao... No, actually, no, the Zhao's out of range, so... Otherwise, he would have been perma-spotted, and, well, he's dead, so he won't be spotting the Des Moines anymore. So we're off to a pretty good start over here. We could definitely go back and contemplate trying to obtain the capture point. We can see on the map on the other side, somebody's marking up the Des Moines. This smoke screen is really just for the allies, but it's Des Moines, Moskva, Dmitry Donskoy, and of course the Tier 8 Levelol. And other than Donskoy, they're all over there. So that's not really a big deal for us. Dmitry Donskoy radar does not last that long, so we can always try to just survive through it. We got 15,000 health almost, so we're in a reasonable position. I'm trying to figure out what the team's up to at the moment. Cyclone in 3 minutes, though, that can be awkward with the amount of radar cruisers on the enemy team. But currently, there is a Dmitry Donskoy here. We could just, park on the other side of this island so that he can't shoot us and the Lion can't shoot us. Of course, we always run the risk of the Lion just deciding, hey, screw it, I'm going to suck a bliat into your face and shit all over you. So, you're all out of luck if he does that. But otherwise, we can also just park up onto the corner and, torp him if he tries to do anything fancy. Havarosk is in B. Hopefully, let me have a look at that. Hopefully, our gearing is going to shoot AP at his broadside, because that can do a lot of damage. However, he doesn't seem to have really thought too much about that, so, well, he's dead. And the Havarosk is still on reasonably large amounts of health. Looks like the Lion is actually, in fact, trying to do some kind of weird play, so these torpedoes, they don't look too bad if he turns hard in, but the second salvo is unlikely to find their mark unless he hard turns like this and then sails right into the lot of them. Thankfully for us, the Dmitry Donskoy doesn't seem too intent on using a Hydra at the moment. Using a smoke screen here is pretty much necessary because the Lion is pushing into us, so hey, well, we're here, we might as well shoot. So we get 1 torpedo on him, which is good. It's less damage he can regenerate. He thankfully just fires the main battery, takes another torpedo. I don't think it's within the 15 seconds, so he's not going to be permanently flooding. Dmitry Donskoy is poking us, but there's nothing we can do about that. We just need to try to dodge as best as we possibly can. I wouldn't shoot at Dmitry Donskoy. He's way too healthy at the moment. So now it's just a matter of trying to reduce the amount of bleed we suffer. Poke back and forth and whatnot, and there we go, radar is off, so we could have stayed in the camp, and that's the thing about radars, do not panic when radar. Look at this as mostly a battleship player though, but we're thinking ahead of this. We're using the smoke screen to ensure that we have some concealment between us, we can still continue to poke. I don't think that Dimitri Donskoy had a full radar duration, so that's always a good spot of luck for us. Lines on fire, Dimitri Donskoy is still around. Get lucky and poke a fire on the Dimitri Donskoy, that'd be pretty sweet. Otherwise, it definitely is time to torpedo because, well, we're heading towards the early part of the deployment of our smoke. And the awkward thing about that is that, well, that area is expiring. So if we go forwards now, we're going to be getting spotted earlier than we would have been reversing, and we're going to be spotted for a lot longer than we would have otherwise. So a little bit of an awkward thing here, because this is going to expire in like 5 seconds. So unless we actually get the... Never mind, it looks like we're more than fine. The Dimitri Donskoy manages to die to the torpedoes, not really figuring that we had a good angle, and that might just be a double strike for us. So spot of luck for us to eliminate them before our smoke screen completely expires on us. And never mind, it was actually there, so we actually still would have stayed concealed for a little bit longer than I originally anticipated. But good riddance over there. We've gotten rid of the enemy's push on Alpha, so we got complete control of the map. The Havadas never actually pushed us, so he's going back off. These guys are going to cut off our guys over there, so we're going to lose the tier 8 battleships, but that's not really a big deal. It's not a tier 8 game. It is a tier 10 game, and what matters, let's have a look at the health bars, is we've got a full HP Zhao, Kudetsov's healthy, he can sustain engagement. This guy's healthy enough to sustain good engagements. These guys are kind of out of the match. They need to get themselves into a relevant position again. Somewhat reasonable healthy Bismarck, but it's not a big deal, because he's going to get away, and, we need to, try to start consolidating forces at the moment. Because, well, they've got, and, this alive, we've got Amagi and Friedrich, plus all the cruiser stuff, because these guys are unlikely to get out of that one alive if they're heading in this direction. If they're heading in this direction to try to consolidate, then we definitely should head this way to try to consolidate with the team as well, because this Bismarck's being chased. He's also going to become completely irrelevant in about a minute and a half. So it really doesn't matter for him. This guy, I don't know what he's trying to do. I mean, if they made a last stand and tried to trade damage on these guys, yeah, it could have been decent, but the smarter thing to do in terms of long-term survivability and long-term game would have been head this direction, these guys cross in there, these guys head in this direction, and then when we get about into B, these guys collapse on them, and we can collapse on the Richelieu. So the Bismarck will eventually arrive, but it won't be a major deal. We can't poke the Havarovsk at the moment. I wouldn't shoot now, because we're going to be getting surface spotted, so now would not be a good time to shoot, in my opinion, and looks like we are realizing that, holding fire, very good decision there. There's no need to unnecessarily, if you want, get ourselves spotted by the Havarovsk. I mean, he's obviously going to know where we are the moment we go into the capture circle, that's not a problem. And it looks like we were the ones spotting him, which is a bit unfortunate, but hey, we might as well send them, we don't lose anything. He knows where we are, he'll see the shells coming. And we actually get a hit for no damage, it seems. Looks like we just created one of his gun turrets, I would assume. And of course, 50mm armor meant that one of them didn't actually do anything at all. Anyways, we're heading into Bravo, 15 seconds until full cyclone. We could potentially have been trying to look at the torpedo angles on the Richelieu. Maybe we could have torped him, as he's almost certainly going to be heading forwards shortly, so he's not going to really reverse like that, I doubt it. He's on full HP, he's likely to push the Bismarck once his acquisition goes down. In there you go, and he's unspotted, which means that this Bismarck is too far away. Now these guys are trying to move in this direction, so they're going to either collapse on the Havarovsk or something, but Havarovsk can only engage at 8 kilometers, meaning that he's not really going to have a good day in a cyclone against the Bismarck, which is going to spew secondaries at him. Anyways, our Zhao's also coming in. We have gotten rid of most of the enemy radars, Donskoy and Cleveland, but it's still two very dangerous ones, especially Des Moines. If you get caught at 8 kilometers to him, we're not having a good day. But then again, unless you're in a Montana or something, if you get caught, face into a Des Moines at 8 kilometers, you're probably not going to have a good day to begin with. Now, I definitely would have believed that launching torpedoes here would have been a good move. There's a reasonable chance, in fact, I'd say, of us being able to clip him if he tries to move forwards, to sit at the edge of the cap and then head out. Looks like we're asking if he has X marks a spot mod. Mods. Oh, might be useful, because then he could actually stay outside of the cyclone range and we can spot for him. But that's a Des Moines. If the Des Moines wants to come in here and liberate us, then that could be troublesome. And there we go, we're radared. Who am I kidding? He's obviously trying to radar the Bismarcks because he's chasing them, right? So I would probably just blanket a bunch of torpedoes in this kind of an area because we can kind of see where he is. And I mean, he's chasing them, but he needs to keep himself within 10 kilometers range. So, we could have also gotten ourselves out of the way there, and we've got a Moskva as well. Looks like the Bismarck shooting AP at the Des Moines and not trying to return any secondaries, but this is basically why I would have just recommended launching torpedoes there instead of getting into range. Because there you go, our Bismarck does go down, and chances are they're coming for us next. But at least what we know is that the Des Moines will be unlikely to have his radar up. I wouldn't launch like that, it's unlikely. Ooh. That's a spot of luck. Okay, he's actually chasing the Monarch at the moment, so that's fair, and there we go, our 20-second concealment penalty manages to reset itself. We could smoke up and shoot at him, but, I mean, he's currently not focusing on us, so it's not a really big deal, but I'm not really sure that launching all these torpedoes is the right move, because we still have a Moskva that's potentially going to come along and requisition our health points for the glory of Russian warships. And looks like we in fact have a baguette up our asses, so that's not exactly going to be fun either. Probably should smoke right about now, because we do have a baguette up our asses, and the chances are we're going to find out about it rather shortly. And there we go, where you find out about it. Oh dear, there's a baguette behind us, scheisse! So there we go, and now we have a Moskva in our faces, and we do actually torp down the Des Moines. That's a spot of luck, but we're still bleeding a little bit of HP. Richelieu does get another shot off on us. 2 overpens, thankfully doesn't take us out. So he's now got problemas of his own, so, well, hey, that's a bit of luck there as well, but I definitely would consider getting ourselves out of the way of the Moskva. Unfortunately, one torp dude gets critted. We can't torp the Richelieu because our guys are in the backdrop, and chances are we're just going to end up hitting him. We still have a line on the Moskva, so yeah, just launch him. I think, though, unfortunately, our Zhao's actually got a perfect drop against them, so I don't think we're going to pick up any damage here. Well, we might as well use our main guns and shoot. I actually know. No, our Zhao messed the drop up, so Moskva gets out of the way for that. And that's an ally torp that ain't going anywhere near us. We get a fire on the Moskva. I probably personally would have gone a little bit around here during the smoke screen so that if we do get radar, we can instantaneously advance in the opposite direction. However, the Moskva does get a good MLG shot through the smoke screen and takes us down with our Monarch taking him out in the broadside. So this game is pretty much secure. 1 NC left, and the Cyclone doesn't really have much more than 2-3 minutes left before its expiry. So the team can pretty much just go and collapse on him and end the battle. So yeah, if we disregard our long-term survivability in the end, pretty much very well played game there actually. It was not overextending. You could argue a case of overextension in the A cap. We should have standard capped the moment it was possible for us, and it turn before the cap, at the edge of the cap, slow down, try to park completely ass on, and prepare. That way, if we do see the Z, we do outconceal him by a little bit. We can instantly deploy our smoke screen, and the Des Moines behind us will almost certainly instantly radar. His position is a radar cruiser position. He's in range to do so. Smoke up, get the damage off, reduce the bleed on our health. That would have been the absolute perfect play. We handled it very well, though. It was not a problem there whatsoever. From there on, the plays were pretty much trying to get something done. We did manage to clean up a flank. We took a bit of a risk with the Dmitry Donskoy and the Lion pushing. We got a little bit lucky that the Lion fired just as the Dmitry Donskoy radar, and the Dmitry Donskoy did not have radar upgrade. Otherwise, chances are Lion would have gotten a shot off. We could have just been killed up front right there. Important thing in that kind of a situation is to not panic, and we didn't. We handled the situation quite well. We managed to stay concealed after the radar. We never abandoned the smoke screen in front of them, well within surface spotting range. That would certainly have gotten ourselves killed. And we managed to take a double strike off the enemy's line, and Dmitry Donskoy pushing a little bit of fishy torpedo drops, and I would have tried to abandon the area a little bit earlier and around the corner, just in case these guys push, just in case they don't take damage, just in case they don't die. Little spot of luck that Dmitry Donskoy committed suicide on us, but that definitely would have been a time to rapidly advance off in a opposite direction, and the Des Moines ram trades down to North Carolina, finishing off this match. But yes, the reason I say that is because you don't really know if they're going to die. You don't know if the Lion just is magically going to super heal or something. I actually didn't pay attention whether he did that earlier or not. But if he suddenly regenerated up to half HP and then just just came in and sailed into our faces and made a mess out of us because they were close enough, should they not have died, should the smoke screen have expired, and should we not have been able to get ourselves around the corner of the island, we could definitely have been in some deep trouble. Especially considering Lion shooting AG can make a big mess out of our ship, but then again, him shooting AP will do about the same. From there on, the decision not to shoot the Habarovsk was quite good, even though, he will know where we are, and the rest of the team will know that chances are it's us in the capture circle once B starts getting flipped. However, the rest of the team won't get the spotting on us, so they won't get that confirmation, so they don't really know. I do slightly believe we missed an opportunity to drop torps on the Richelieu. I don't think they would have hit anything, but it definitely would have been an opportunity. We wouldn't really have needed those torpedoes for anything else. We did get the torpedo down at the Des Moines in the end. Pretty lucky he didn't pay attention to us. Otherwise, I definitely think he would have just upfront killed us. Again, in the Cyclone, I think that in terms of looking ahead in time, I think that just dropping the torpedoes in the general direction of the Des Moines, we knew he used a radar. I don't think he had a radar upgrade either, but we know he used a radar and he was in an engagement with the Bismarck and whatnot. If you have a radar in the smoke, in a cyclone like that, just slow down in that situation, get yourself out of 8 kilometer range so the Bismarck can't return fire, at least not effectively and accurately. His secondaries won't engage you, and just plink for the next 56 seconds with a Des Moines, and you can deal a lot of damage in about 1 minute of time you get to shoot people inside of a cyclone with your radar. But I definitely do believe that Des Moines missed an opportunity to slow down and collapse on the Bravo cap and try to come in on the broadside and kill us and our Zao with the rest of his team and just try to find out what's relevant, not the running tier 8 battleships, and collapse in on what's actually relevant and potentially get a bit of broadside damage and whatnot. In the end, he chased the Monarch as well and ended up sailing into our torpedoes. Pretty risky job. If he was paying attention, he should have been easily able to evade, or at least jebait us. Try at least. No guarantee we're going to get jebaited, but definitely would have been a small chance that we could have. With the Moskva, if you did want to consider your overall survival at the end of the game, then heading around the island would have been the smarter move to make, or at least moving inside of the smoke screen so that you do have an ability to instantly go forwards and around the corner should the Moskva decide to radar or try to shoot us. Get a little bit lucky with his AP salvo, getting enough damage against us, pretty much completely broadside in the smoke screen to kill us. If he'd shot HE, he would have still killed us anyways, because HE does more damage than Overpens, so he just ended up hitting enough of his shells to actually take us out and miss in the smoke. But at that point, the game was pretty much secure, and it wouldn't really have mattered. Although normally it's not recommended really to do that, but hey, we got a little bit of bonus damage of shooting at him, so hey, what can I really say? So having a look at the post-battle result screens, 125,881 damage, 162 shell hits, 8 torpedoes, pretty solid result there overall. 3 fires, 3 kills, 5 in caps, and the floodings don't really matter. Couple of defender ribbons, couple of capture assisted ribbons there as well. We didn't get the full caps, but what's nice is we do get ourselves a daily 10 speed signals. Well, daily and daily. It's not like you can really farm them, unless perhaps if you play a midway and get lucky. Top of the scoreboard, definitely a pretty solid game. There we got to get the vast majority of the Z52. We didn't get much of the Kavarovsk, but hey, not a big deal. Monarch's actually surprisingly second on the team. I guess he got the spam HE at all the cruisers and deal some damage over time there to them. Otherwise, the rest doesn't really matter too much. Azao in the end died, unfortunately, but he had an alright situation for himself there, so nothing really to say about that. The tail report screen, 46 of the Lion, 34 of the Des Moines, 20 of the Dimitri Sky. These were pretty much all torpedo hits. Obviously, we can't have torpedoed the Z46, so that's all of our gun damage. 90 off the Moskva from fires as well. And we actually did get 937 from the Haverovsk, so I actually didn't notice a damage ticker tick. That's my mistake. Other than that, not much damage over time. Then and again, what do you expect? We're in a US destroyer. We don't really get we're in a destroyer, so we don't really get the world's best kind of torpedo or fire ability. It's not like we're, say, in a German destroyer or Japanese destroyer spamming our guns with full HE setups at people. That can actually get you some fires over a long time. At least if people don't have fire prevention. If people have fire prevention, you might as well go and poke yourself. Well, minus 6 of torpedo damage. We did get 85k of torpedo damage, basically, along with 31,500 main battery damage. No AP shells fired. But then again, we weren't really presented an opportunity to use AP shells. If the Habarovsk could come around broadside to us at close range, we definitely could have just torpedoed. Oh wait, we're in a ship that doesn't have torpedoes that can torpedo destroyers, so it's But broadside combos shoot AP into their engineering areas. With destroyers, you can shred them. Even as a cruiser, just shoot AP into their broadside, especially if they angle a little bit and you get them to arm. You can really shred hoverers like that. In fact, I've gotten a devastating strike with a Baltimore against once with shooting AP into his broadside, like seven hits or something, and the sudden lot armed and like 15k health. Haveros dead. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this replay cast. I don't think you were overextending or being too passive in this one, Velcatis. I definitely think it was a very well handled game, all in all considered. With the Cyclone and all, definitely very well done there. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!